good evening, everyone. Great to see you guys for our fifth episode of Highlights, where we highlight stories and people from our communities, from their life and path of faith, and how different people of our generation are responding to God's calling and contribute to the providence. Tonight, it's a great pleasure and honor to have Anna and Steven with us, who are the new national presidents from the Netherlands. And we'll hear and talk directly with them, hear about their stories and their calling, and how they're managing as they start out on this new mission as national leaders in the Netherlands. This summer, I had the chance to visit them in their house, and maybe we can invite them up now. And I just shaved, so I have some blood stain here. So anyway, hi Anna and Steven. Well, welcome to you guys.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
How are you this evening?
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I heard you had a very exciting or intense week, right?
Yeah. It's from the retreats through our official wedding and also receiving the in-law family, and it's still not over, so we have still.
you still got Anna's sister in the house, right? Yes. And her family.
The living room there.
Right over there.
You can still hear them.
And you got married this Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Congratulations. You signed the papers.
Yes.
How was that? Yeah. So anyway, let's start off with a serious question. How do you like your breakfast? Is it are you more bacon and egg style, or I don't know, muesli? I think, Anna, you're German. Do you eat muesli for breakfast, or how do you like it?
I prefer the Japanese breakfast.
Oh.
My favorite was like rice with natto, for example.
So you actually enjoy natto?
Yeah, I like it.
Nice. Steven, how?
Generally I like my breakfast fast. If you know.
Okay.
So muesli is generally my most meal, but if the time I like to treat myself, I would go for a toasty with a cheese.
Oh.
Cheese and ham.
I see. Nice.
Very important is the chili sauce.
I can see a lot of people in the Dutch community taking notes to reflect on how make you guys happy. Okay, so thank you for that. I just this morning I made breakfast with my boys, and they love cracking the eggs. So we made a lot of omelette because it was just they kept the eggs coming. So we had to fry them up. Yeah. So, Anna, would you like to tell us something, maybe a bit more about your background? You're originally German, living now already quite some years in the Netherlands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
some here know you already, but I think maybe not everyone. So it's maybe good if you can introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm from Germany. I was born and raised there. My dad is German. My mom is Japanese. In 2013, so 9 years ago. Yeah, 9 years ago, I came here to the Netherlands to study medicine. And since then I lived here in the Netherlands. I didn't finish my study. I stopped. But now I live together. Like, I got blessed to Steven, who's Dutch and also half Japanese. And now we live together here in the city where I studied, actually. Leiden.
Beautiful place. I recommend anyone to visit. Leiden is really nice. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and you work now as a nurse, right?
Not a nurse, but like a carer for people with physically, who cannot physically like do things. We help them with like washing and clothing. How do you say?
Okay.
Like that. They need help.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and Steven, so you're an original Dutch man.
I was born here, so yeah.
Yeah.
In that sense, yeah, I was born in Amsterdam, so when I lived there until well, basically this year, because this year we moved together here in Leiden, and yeah, that's where most of my time have been towards now. Basically, you can call me now a DIYer, and yeah, we've been I've been working from scratch with our house here. It used to be a school building, very empty, so we had to we destroyed walls, we built walls, did electricity, plumbing, and everything until now. Yeah, so yeah, really like building your house. Making it.
Yeah, I was very impressed when I saw it this summer, right? So
and it looks much
DIY,
better
it's
now,
a huge
so.
DIY project, right? that you're encountering. Yeah, maybe describe it more. It's like, I understand the housing market in the Netherlands is pretty tight for young families or young couples in your case. So you took things in your own hands, or
yeah,
share a bit about that. Yeah,
very true. Yeah, I mean, even now we get like requests from students who need housing and really desperately. And yeah, also in our case, we've been waiting, and we've been, there's like a system where you have to register and you have to pay each year. And yeah, for those who waited longer, they have more chance, like higher priority. And even 10 years of waiting is not enough to have a high chance. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, is that public housing or
yes,
affordable public housing? So
yeah. The lottery ones, but yeah, you know how the lottery works. It's very low, and so yeah, we didn't really want to wait too much, and as we found this offer, this opportunity, we took that to have more like take control of ourselves. Yes, it did mean that we had to take a lot of responsibility, and we both have zero experience with doing anything regarding to making or building stuff. So it's at least we took it seriously and offered our time to prepare and to make it happen.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, you are certainly very, very passionate about that project, and I think it's anyway. I remember you explaining all the details, right, about what you did there and how you solved that issue in your house, and
yeah, it's interesting.
Becoming a really nice. What could you kind of learn from that experience? Is that no prior experience of kind of?
I mean, I do. Yeah, you're using basically all the experience you had prior, and then you add a lot of that more. So I was already happy. I had some experience with woodworking and with 3D designing, so I used all of that experiences to like properly prepare yourself at least. And then yeah, just we work together also, because you're not doing this alone. We have the whole basically working together with our neighbors who are also building the house together. So our neighbor, for example, yeah, we did not have any wall between us, so we could see each other basically. So you see, you work at the same time, and then you can learn from each other as well. So it's like a community work, so you can learn from each other, you can ask questions, borrow equipment from each other, and see what kind of ideas they came up with, because it's kind of a similar structure, but it's also fun how everyone made their own part. So all the houses here are so different because people are different, and yeah, and we had like a high ceiling, it's like almost 4 meters, so it's big windows, so it's a lot of things you can think about. Yeah.
Wow. So now with this project basically on your plate, now you're moved on to another, maybe most certainly bigger project, even the leading the Dutch community, Anna. And I was very impressed when talking to you. You come across as a bit of a shy person. I guess you're aware of that. that's the vibe you give off sometimes. But I could see a lot of kind of clarity and confidence within you when we had the chance to talk. When was it? Yeah, in the Netherlands, and then especially in Korea. So yeah, how did you experience, yeah, kind of, how do you find clarity, or how do you find, how did God tell you what to do or where to go in certain phases or stages in your life? How does that work in your life?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like, especially through prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get this like feelings, like inspirations or so, and also sometimes like as if someone's talking to me, like in my thoughts or in my like, yeah, and for this national leader mission, we all together, like people who did it, I don't know who joined in with the condition. We did like national condition for
a national condition to prepare the transition, right, from our
find a national
very
leader.
experienced and loved national leader, Hans Kampmann, right? Yeah.
And yeah, I joined this condition. I for myself, I read like True Mother's autobiography and did some minutes of prayer every day. And through these prayers, I was like, because I was always praying like, who could be the next national leader? I didn't want to do it myself. I was like, hopefully there's someone who can do it. And I was thinking like, who are praying also, who can do it? And every time it came back to me like, why don't you do it? Why don't you do it yourself? I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. But every time this thoughts and this feeling came back, like it became stronger and stronger after a while. So I was like, and then also I couldn't find anyone. No one came up in my thoughts. No one else, like who I could imagine to do it. So I was like, yeah. Yeah. And
okay. So there was some whispering and so on going on in that period.
Whispering, but then also it became shouting.
Okay, so proper.
Yeah. It was a little bit annoying, but but yeah, that is how it works for me often. Like I have this like maybe voice in my head, or I don't know. It's thoughts, but it's like not my own thoughts. It's like coming from somewhere, and it's telling me some things. And yeah.
Okay, and that was such. Did you have did this already? Anyway, this is a fairly recent case, but I guess you already had certain crossroads in your life before. Maybe would you like to share one of them from an earlier crossroad like that, where you sort of had to rely on God for guidance, and it came actually?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you want me to talk about my time in Chongpyeong,
maybe, I don't know.
Times,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I had also this, like, okay, 2012, I was like at a point in my life when I didn't know what to do further and where to go, and I was a little bit like kind of maybe depressed even also, and then I had this like I got this inspiration, or this thought. Someone was telling me, why don't I go to Chongpyeong? And I didn't know what Chongpyeong was actually exactly back then. And then I was thinking like, you go there and then you pray the whole day and you meditate the whole day, and then that's it.
So you didn't know about the beating yourself part?
I have been there before. Like, yeah, I knew about it, but I wasn't so aware of it. That was the Chongpyeong. Like I was there before, also doing Changyang, but or yeah, back then it was Ansu, I think called. But I didn't know that that was like the Chompion kind of. I think I don't remember, but yeah. Anyways, I was like someone told me, why don't you go to Chompion? And then I went to Chompion. I quit my job back then, and then I went to Chompion for 40 days, and then I had such a good experience. But then after 40 days, I was like, if I go back now, I will just fall back in my old life. So I stayed another 40 days to like come out of this, of this low down deep in my life, deep point in my life. So yeah, and I stayed in Chompion for 80 days, and in that time I also could connect like more with Heavenly Parent and True Parents, especially True Father, because he was that was just the time when he was passing to the spirit world. I wasn't aware of that before I went there, but once I was there, I realized, oh, it's a really special time. True Father is in the hospital, and he might pass away soon, and then I had some experiences also where I could meet him like spiritually, and then and also back then I started to communicate more with God, and with like I tried to communicate more like on a how to say, like constantly, like I was talking with God and with the spirit world, like about small things I had to do, and then I had to make decisions, and then I asked for everything. I asked like, what should I do next, and where should I go next, kind of things that I started in Chompion, and that now it's not so extreme anymore, but I kept.
Thank God, yeah.
Sorry? Oh yeah. Because I grew now, but I try to like also like share like the nice moments also with God, and like try to think about them, like parents when I.
So this is something that you could take from that time with you, sort of into
also
your daily life, and which is sort of staying with you and kind of helping you still now.
Yeah.
That's correct. Okay.
It was like a rebirth experience for me then. Yeah.
So Stephen, Anna heard some shouting from God that she should respond to a calling. Did you hear any shouting?
If there's any shouting,
how was it for you? How was your Sunday?
Yeah, I think really Anna is like the present from God to me, as like a bondage, strengthening me further and keeping me, active. I myself, I'm quite a perfectionist, so that means, I'm never satisfied, and I can be distracted by many things, and I like to do my work, whatever I do, seriously and with all my effort and might. But it also means that I can be, just busy and not really, could also be very much distracted from spiritual life. So
you're easily getting bogged down in details and like to work them out, sort of.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you could say I can focus on one thing for a very long time, while others might be already bored or whatever, or give up. And I'm very stubborn. I don't like to give up, so I like to solve things, and I like to make sure I come to a solution with
finish things.
Yeah, definitely finishing things as well. But yeah, that also means that for me, I was more occupied, with just the daily life and other stuff, and having met Anna and having her in my life has been more of a for me, bringing back more the spiritual aspect of it, and making sure I can also create time for that, because I also know it's very important to have a balance, not just on one side, and to make sure I spend more time as well with our Heavenly Parents, because for me, before I met Anna, and even now, I'm still like trying to find a balance, because I've been struggling with getting a healthy relationship. Yeah, and I'm trying to find answers, trying to find solutions, and it's good to have yeah, Anna with me, so we can really talk on a one-to-one about how we feel about things, and of course, yeah, come to a sort of like a conclusion where we can really always support each other, physically and spiritually, and yeah, I think yeah.
Wow, there's so many interesting things in what you're saying, and I'm sort of tempted to go off a tangent with you with a lot of follow-up questions, but yeah, so maybe you can try to answer this one shortly. It's like, yeah, well, you mentioned a healthy relationship with God, right? Sort of trying to find out what is that for you, and how is different from an unhealthy one.
Well, I guess we say, like, you know, how Heavenly Parents should be at the center, right? So that also means, like, when it comes to an order, it should be Heavenly Parents first. So just with that idea in mind, you know, whether it's the start of the day or your mindset of, you know, what should I eat or what should I do? It should always first be like, you know, like good morning, Heavenly Parents, when you wake up, this kind of idea, and that if you make a decision, that you also first think of how is this connected to Heavenly Parents, and then how can this be, you know, how can I make something that's regarding to my life. So okay. Yeah, also this house, for example.
And if I put God first in my life,
yeah, exactly,
other parts of my life can kind of come in order.
Yeah.
Start to put God second. Whatever is first will try to dictate the other parts of life. Is it something like that?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is not, yeah, it's not my natural way of thinking, and it's something you have to practice, get used to as well. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Anna, Stephen was very cute now. He praised you and the many things you brought in his life. So what is it now that you feel now you prepared together with other brothers and sisters, of course, this retreat in the Dutch community recently, right? And before we kind of open that topic in a sense and go deeper there, what is it in example that situation, preparing that sort of meeting that Stephen brings to you and your life? Let's give something back to Stephen now.
Yeah. As he said, like, I brought balance in his life. He brought also balance in my life, because for me it's like he brought the balance like on an maybe an external aspect more, like for example, he was like busy with the house, and because he doesn't like to leave things unfinished, or he's like really, like, he does everything really well, so he he was like the driving force behind like finishing everything. And the house is also for us, it's not only for us, but we also want to offer it or make it a place where we can invite people, and where we can invite people and be together with them and with God and with true parents, and like have a good atmosphere here, like a temple kind of. We built our own temple for God. And this on this aspect, Stephen is like really like the driving force, and he brought this kind of balance, like we balance each other out. I'm maybe more internally and he more externally, so he was like really focused, and he was like really going forward, even though we were both so tired, and we were both like, I was like almost.
But he made sure that something is actually happening, and that it's sort of moving forward.
Like externally, but like our house.
Yeah.
Now, that it will be finished, and I was like always almost like oh, let's give up, or let's another time, or let's just I don't want to do this anymore. And then he just kept going with that house and finishing it, so that we could receive also my sister and her family here, and also our families for the wedding, like for the reception kind of. Anyways, but this is like Stephen's strong point, like this yeah, where he helped yeah, to come forward in our relationship and with our lives, to yeah, be able to have this place where we can live and invite people. And so yeah, and also for the retreat itself, he's really technical, so gifted, and so, and he helped with the film for the, like the video for the, we made a video compilation for Hans Kampmann and Mirko Kampmann for as like how to say as a gift, for like where people could send us videos and then thank you videos, and then he made like put it together nicely, and then we could show it, and he helped also with the other technical things.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah. So anyway, this is really really nice how you talk about each other. We didn't prepare for that; it kind of came up now randomly, so it's nothing staged here. And yeah, so anyway, that's really really beautiful. So we mentioned already a few times this retreat. You had a community gathering, especially with the young families recently, and in a sense, and then on this weekend, I understand you also had the official handover ceremony, actually, of national leadership in the Netherlands. And yeah, but maybe you want to share a bit more about us, how that was, what that was, how it was, how you set it up, and yeah, what you learned from coming together as a community to discuss the future. Yeah, it was in Glory House. So yeah, please explain us a bit about that.
Where should we start?
What is the retreat?
Yeah, so maybe to begin with, like this retreat, it was initiated by Julika Hoffmann, Julika Labori, sorry. She, yeah, it was an idea. I think also it came from you, Bogdan. I think, like, I don't know.
So. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
But it was initiated by Julika. She started it to organize it, and so, and yeah, to get together like especially young families and young couples and young people from the Netherlands to yeah, come together and discuss about like how to go further in this, like with our community, how to also take over, like, yeah, slowly take over the responsibilities that now mostly the first generation or the older generation has, to yeah, slowly be able to continue what they are doing, that we can continue the community work and community, like our community and what is important for us. And yeah, after, like, first Julika started the organization, and then yeah, some people helped, and then after a while, like, I was really busy with peace. Also, I went to the Peace Road in Berlin, and then after that I went to Korea to the leaders meeting, and then after that I was like, and I also talked to you in Korea, and then I felt like it is important that like this responsibility of organizing it, that I take it, because also I take it, yeah, because I know the community better than Julika, of course, and yeah, and then after that, when I asked Julika about it, and we talked about it, and she was like, yeah, of course. And so, and then after we set told that to the people, then I felt really it became more like something of us, like as a community, because before it was a little bit like set up, or like a little bit like came from up, also came from the above, and then it was not our own kind of, it was something that we had to do because someone's told us to do or something.
Okay. Yeah.
And, but anyways, it was good that it was started anyways, and then I could take it over, and then we could come together with young families and young people, and we could brainstorm about like what do we want, like how is our community now, and how do we want it to be, and what can we do to achieve this.
What were kind of the most flashy things, or the strongest thing that came up in the process? Yeah.
You mean the points that we?
Yeah, the points that you kind of, the conversation that you heard from your brothers and sisters. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the main things is that we need some place for young families to come together, and also children, like families with children, young children, because it's now, as you also experienced, our center in Amsterdam is a little bit, it's a little bit small maybe, or it's not so nice for young families to come there. And it's not so much space, and not also for the children to be there. And
okay, so
that was one main point
for families. If we want young families to come, we need a place that is welcoming for them.
Yeah,
that's one point.
That was one point, one big point. Because before like 2 or 3 years ago, we had like this, like the young families, they made their own family Sunday services once a month, and then they met at someone's, like they rotated between different houses, like from the families, and then they met there, and then they had their children's Sunday service together. But that's not possible anymore because like so many.
So that's one thing in a sense, right? That you are. That you were. We don't need to dive into. all the way down with each issue, right? But just to get a sense, so you had the community coming together. Glory House is a nice place. You had the conversations there. Anything? Was there something in the conversation that came up that surprised you with the other brothers and sisters, or where you felt like, wow, I didn't expect that, or something like that? Or if not, it's fine.
I don't know.
I think just in general, because the retreat itself was like a miracle to us, because being together in a big group, and we, from, if you don't know the Netherlands, we don't really have a board or a group of young people, who are organizing things. So to come together about this has never happened before. So just to have this happening and having many of them also participating by itself, that is something we did not expect so many to come. So that was already, like a big achievement. And to have everyone there was such a nice atmosphere by itself. I think that is something everyone already felt from the beginning. And it's something like, wow, this is something we haven't felt in a long while. Just to see each other face to face, just to feel.
And there's actually some power of all of us being together. And
I think already great things can come already from the moment when you're like together.
Yeah.
And so I just, the start was just already strong. And I think that really motivated us and gave us the energy, to the next step. So to coming together, to see each other, to feel each other's positivity, and to do something with that energy that came together.
Yeah. And to see that the other families are also struggling with their children, that is not just me. I don't know.
It's motivation as well. Yeah.
Sometimes empowering if you see others.
But also I found nice that everyone wanted to help. Everyone wanted to contribute. And I was like, before I was so scared because I was like, oh, how should we do this? How should we do that? Like with the brainstorming sessions and stuff. But then everyone was so supportive and so helpful and like, yeah, contributing. Everyone was contributing something. And so in the end, it was like really round, like on Saturday, the discussions and the brainstorming and the conclusion, everything felt so round because everyone was like going with us, like everyone wanted to.
The feeling that everyone who was there could contribute well, and it's sort of, and that your results in the brainstorming and also the plans actually depicted reality, was not wishful thinking or something, but
everyone wanted to make it like something successful. I think that was what I was really thankful about also, because before I was thinking, how should we do this, how should we do that, but it was actually not so much my own task to think about everything, but everyone could like contribute, and then in the end it was like something nice came out. Something
that sounds really, really nice and beautiful. Which is actually for us, like just two weeks ago, kind of Yoshik and I, we started the process actually of handing over our role as community leaders in the Linz community. And after that Sunday service, where it was kind of first announced also to the rest of the community that this is happening now, I had a quite interesting dream of actually all the members in our community coming into the service or coming into our community place, and some not yet members as well, as sort of some of our guests also coming in, and it felt like everyone is there, and it's like, anyway, I'd say our time together is so short, but actually everyone is so close, and the most precious people in our lives are actually already here, and it's just a matter about seeing them. I don't know whether I can get this across, but it was that sort of dream, really spiritual dream with God's presence, and that moved my heart. And so I felt something resonating now with how you described it, that actually there's a lot of power if we just recognize the people that are already here, right? And just appreciate them as who they are and how precious they are in this short time that we have together. Anyway, was this not too strange what I said, or?
No.
Okay. So anyway, we are coming to an end of our session. So how was it then getting married 2 days later after organizing? I guess it must have been also quite something where that stressed you out before. Okay, now we need to make this community retreat, and the only weekend free is 2 days before our civil wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite stressful. I had lots of nightmares before, but that also miraculously it went really well. I was so happy that because we could all we had this, like in the city hall we had this standard like just signing the papers actually and have a small ceremony.
Just a legal wedding, right? Yeah.
The wedding, yeah. And then they said before, like the rules were that we could only take 8 people with us inside. So we wanted to take like the witnesses and then also our siblings actually and their partners. And then that our parents would have to wait outside of the room. But then the officiator, she saw everyone and she was like, how many people? Oh yeah, you're more than 10 people, but anyways, you can come all in. So the parents shouldn't wait outside. So she was like, she invited everyone in, and then we had this small ceremony, and then it was really nice that everyone could join. And this officiator, she also was really like nice and asked also some personal questions. And then afterwards, we just had like some brunch together here in our apartment. Yeah, it was just like a nice day, and it was not so stressful in the end. Like after the morning, that was the most stressful for me, because I had like nightmares that we came late, or
You're late to your own wedding or
Yeah.
something like that.
yeah, I was like really so stressed about that only, but the rest, it went so well. Yeah, it was just like nice, and also nice to see everyone talk, like people, like our families never met like this before, like all of us together. So it was really nice to see my brothers talk to his sisters and our brothers-in-law, and so on. It's like really nice.
Yeah, oh, that's a whole new topic, tribal diplomacy, which let's not get into this is stories for another day. But thank you so much for sharing these experiences. It's also good to hear that there is some basic human decency left in after Corona crisis when it comes to how many people can be at a wedding. That's also nice to hear. And yeah, but most importantly, very happy to get to know you a bit better and discuss these points about your first steps in this new role as national leaders in the Netherlands, together with all of your older and younger brothers and sisters. And yeah, let's share a nice virtual applause for Anna and Stephen, and thank you for sharing your stories tonight. And yeah, anyway, looking forward to hearing more from you, and then the next steps that you're making as a couple and together as a community and nation. So yeah, that's the end of our 5th episode of Highlights. This time we had 2 special guests, Anna and Stephen, the national leaders now of the Netherlands. In a month's time, again, on the first Saturday of next month we're having October now, so this would be November then, I suppose. Yeah, we'll have again guests and share for about 40 minutes about how they respond to faith, life, and carrying our community and the Providence into this new era and new age. As a final announcement, I would like to share with you the Foundations program, which is taking place, which is starting this month on October 21st. It will take place until December 6th. 13 meetings, evening meetings of a 40-day course. It's a bit more than 40 days, in fact, on spiritual leadership for young people, where we'll explore the different aspects of leading ourselves and supporting others, about connecting to God and caring for our brothers and sisters, confronting the dark side within ourselves and helping others to confront the dark side within themselves. So these are all aspects of spiritual leadership, and we'll reflect on them, discuss them, and dive deeply into them with great speakers from our Unificationist community, from Europe, but also beyond our region, and a very powerful team experience that is also possible online, as we could learn and experience strongly last year. So if you have a young person, a person under 39 or younger, who would like to give themselves a new, fresh kick in their life of faith and in their sense of taking responsibility for themselves and others in the community, please advertise it to them. You can register. Vicky just posted the link down there, and it's 40 euros. So so much about Highlights. You'll hear a bit more about it with an advertisement video and stuff like that soon. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you again, Anna and Stephen. Thank you, Vicky, for working in the background. And see you next time. Have a good Saturday night. Bye-bye.